gentlemen, happy Friday. Welcome to another fire episode of Believe in the Houston Texans. Now, it is just me and the handsome man himself, Harley, today. I love it when it's just us two. Pause. But another big matchup in front of the Houston Texans traveling to New York to face the Jets, who are on a 5-game losing streak. But before we get to that, Harley, the AFC South is wide open. What are your thoughts on that?
Oh man, I am happy. No offense to Trevor Lawrence, you know, is what it is. It's football. And when we go back to football, I've already shed the crocodile tear for him. And yeah, man, I'm absolutely excited to see that this division is wide open. We are still only one game back, even though we lost to them 2 weeks ago. Anything can happen. So hey, let's put it out there, man. Texans, can they get this division? Who knows, man? Who knows?
And before we continue, because I'm very excited for this episode, we are brought to you by Bet Online. The last of the major sports pro leagues is off and rolling, and college basketball is ready to go as well. Bet Online remains your top spot for all your live betting action and contests. NFL, college football, UFC, and NHL are all in full swing. Bet Online is your number one source for wagering news, odds, trends, and predictions.
BetOnline has info at your fingertips for both desktop and mobile access at any time for almost any sports that is played, from MMA to international soccer. Head to the BetOnline today and remember to use our promo code BLEAV BELIEVE for your 50% welcome bonus on your first deposit. BetOnline, where the game starts.
Where the game starts, and starting with our game. All right. Well, first of all, AFC South wide open.
Mm.
Um, I was watching, that game closely. I was like, man, it's supposed to be a blowout for the Jacksonville Jaguars, right? The Jacksonville Jaguars should have never been in the situation that they were in. Jake Browning, 87% of his passes, 350 plus yards. That is insane. And I called their win against us fraudulent. I said that they were going to build a false narrative in their head that they are actually a good football team and not frauds. And they answered my question. You should have never been in that situation. Now, Trevor Lawrence is doing his damnedest to come back. Shout out to him. But if you're Jacksonville, do you even throw the guy out there? However, we saw some videos of him today, and he looks like he's 100%. Do you even throw him out there? If you are Jacksonville, you have to watch the Colts as well. Easy schedule in front of them. Harley, last night I was score watching, dude, and it was the first time I done that in a long time, where I was like, how does this loss help my team? How does that win hurt my team? It feels so freaking good again to be back in games, playoff football.
Yeah, man, it's great to be back in relevant football again. It's great to be playing relevant football again. It's great to be in the playoff race. It's great to be back atop where we belong. We
Mm,
belong atop the division. We should have been, we should have been dominating, up there with the top of the top.
there
So,
you go.
everything balances itself out, right?
Mm.
At the end of the day, we're back on to where we know we can be. Sure, we're 7-5, but we know the future is bright when it comes to this Houston Texans team and the future of this AFC South. I am very confident that our Houston Texans are going to be competing for that division title year in and year out, and more than just a division title. So yeah, it's absolutely fun to go look at yesterday and go, huh, thank you, New England Patriots.
Right?
How about that? Beating the Pittsburgh Steelers, and you fall asleep in a great mood. You wake up and man, you're in seventh place in the AFC South, and you're right there
And
back
you
in
didn't
the
have to do
playoffs.
nothing.
Mm-mm.
You didn't have to do
Mm-mm.
a damn thing. And I'm gonna say this, Harley, for this Houston Texans team could. I'm sorry. Let me say that one more time. For this Houston Texans team to be competing for first place in the AFC South and for a playoff spot in year one of the rebuild is absolutely insane. I think the Houston Texans should scare the NFL right now because of what they're doing. When you actually put some money into this team, when you draft not for need, but for best player available, I think we are going to see this team go on new heights that we haven't seen ever as Houston Texans fans. Ownership is looking like they got it going. Nick Casario, shout out to you. The amount of slander that you have gotten, still get for
Yeah.
your job done in Houston. And then the head coach, D'Amico Ryans. Harley, real quick, man, what do you think about Nick Casario?
Oh man, it's been a roller coaster ride. It feels
Love hate.
like, So, yeah, definitely this offseason was an absolute A, especially given the results that are present right now. I mean, get them some Letterman jackets. All right,
Mhm.
here we go, baby. We went 0-2 to start the season. We've been 7-3 since.
Mm.
That is typical Texans football, actually. We are known for slow starts and finishing the year strong for some reason. Or, it's just crazy. But Nick Casario definitely deserves his flowers. CJ Stroud gave him his flowers on the press conference whenever he got drafted, him and Will Anderson. CJ Stroud was throwing Nick Casario his flowers. And a lot of people kind of side eyeing it like, okay, whatever. Nah. The proof is in the pudding, man. All of the results are on the field. That was the biggest thing. Is okay. He's done a pretty solid job,
Mhm.
banger of a draft. Now it's time to see the results on the field. Nobody expected CJ Stroud to be playing at an elite level. But in order for that to happen, you had to hire the right coach, get the right coaching staff, and get the right players to go around it. It's not all just CJ Stroud. Yes, he's been playing fantastic and he is an MVP candidate, but it takes more. It's a village, right? Like it takes
Mhm.
more than just one guy. So credit to Nick Casario, credit to D'Amico Ryans
Mhm.
and Bobby Slowick and everyone else bringing together this team that went 7 wins in 2 years to today with 7 wins exactly.
I mean, I used to pray for times like this, man. I
Mm.
used to always say, man, I just
Plowing through it
can't
all.
wait till we get a quarterback, till we get a coach. I saw a Saints fan have a sign that said tank and let's draft Jaden Daniels next year. And I was thinking, oh my God, that used to be me. I
Yep.
used to be heavily invested into college football because one of these guys legit is going to have to help the Houston Texans win some football games for the foreseeable future. I was doing mock drafts since week 5. I was checking free agency, honestly, since week 4. How are you playing so that I could sign you? And I feel calm. I feel like our championship window is open right now, Harley. It is
Yes.
open as long and I really don't think we've talked about the Houston Texans window, but it is here for the next 4 years. As long as you yeah, 4. As long as you have CJ Stroud under that rookie contract, do everything you can to put talent on this team and let's go win some football games.
Yeah, I could agree with that for 4 years in terms of his rookie contract. You have a wide open cap to do whatever you really want to improve this team and try to ensure yourself because this is the time to strike. Like we all seen it. We saw the Seahawks with Russell Wilson's rookie contract. They went to the Super Bowl. They won a Super Bowl. They did exactly what they needed to do. So they boom, check, done. We've seen it before. Joe Burrow and the Cincinnati Bengals went to the Super Bowl. They rolled the dice a little bit, decided to go wide receiver instead of offensive lineman. That decision's played out very well for them. So, yeah, this is the time to strike. This is the time to do it. Not necessarily that the window goes away after 4 years. It's still
Hmm.
there because you have CJ Stroud. It just gets a little bit more nitpicking in
Hmm.
terms of money and cap situation and who's going to help you out with, maybe taking a team friendly deal or, moving some money aside. So that's all for the foreseeable future. But as of right now, yes, the Houston Texans, they have a chance to make some noise their rookie year.
Mm. 100% of the comment says, shout out to Believe. Keep up the good work, man. Thank you so much, Adio890. Shout out to wherever you watch from. Also, let us know where the rest of you guys are watching from, man. We are previewing the Houston Texans matchup versus the New York Jets. And Harley, I'm not going in overconfident. Why? Because the New York Jets have a fantastic defense. It's going to be a rainy day. However, I still think this is a game the Houston Texans should win and should put them away by halftime. I think the best teams beat bad football teams, and the Jets are horrible. They have 3 games not scoring a touchdown. Last week, they started 2 quarterbacks. Both of them are trash. You start Zach Wilson. There was a whole drama thing about him, and I just don't see the New York Jets beating the Houston Texans, man. Like, quite honestly, I do not.
Yeah, I don't see it either. And am I being precautious a little because of the Panthers thing?
Yes.
Yeah. But the Houston Texans have lost to teams that they should have beaten. They
Mm-hmm.
should have beat the Carolina Panthers and they should have beat the Atlanta Falcons. Like I said, we started 0-2. We've gone 7-3 since. It should just as easily be 9-1. Like that, and that's just crazy to think about. But hey, things happen. It is what it is, and you got to make sure you take care of business with the New York Jets. Don't play with
Mm-hmm.
your food. Like the New York Jets
Mm.
are, they're a manageable football team, bro. Like you got to take care of them. This isn't no, oh well, yeah, sure. The Jets got a strong defense, yeah, absolutely. Um, but we also heard from Rami Lavi from WFAN 60 with New York Jets has in-flight snack, part of the Believe Network. Shout out to Believe. Yes, this is
Sheesh.
the Believe Network, and we did not misspell Believe. No, this is
BLEAV.
there we go. And he said it that this Jets defense is very opportunistic. They're
Mm.
willing to take some chances, and you can't force things. You can't risk it too much with this defense because they're waiting for that. And they're waiting, just like chess. They're just waiting for you to move that queen sooner or later, move that knight away. Like they are waiting for you to take those risks. So take what the defense gives you, move the ball down the field. Yes, is it going to be a little rainy? Yes. And I've heard some weather saying that it could clear up around that time, but could be some sprinkles still in Sunday in the afternoon. So, I mean, who knows? Hopefully, it's decent enough weather. The biggest thing I'm worried about is nobody on the Jets. It's their 12th man, and that's the damn stadium, MetLife Stadium. That is the most scariest player on the field for the New York Jets. He has taken lives. He has taken people away from cities, away from fan bases, including their own. Exactly. All right. The New York Jets have led the NFL in back-to-back years in offensive line injuries. Get MetLife Stadium fixed for goddamn. It's so easy. Fix it, please. We want it fixed. We want it fixed. I do not want to see anybody get hurt for the Houston and the New York Jets. But Houston wise mindset, Texans mindset, I don't want nobody getting hurt, damn it. I can't have it. I will lose myself. I will.
What if I told you that's been the number one thing on my mind all week?
That's the 12th man on the field. Like it's
If
ridiculous.
I lose CJ Stroud to
Stop. No, you
MetLife,
can't say that.
I am burning down that stadium. I am burning down that. I really am. I really am. And I know the players know the certain places that are really fucked up and they'll
Yes.
force you to there, Yes, it is their home field, so they know how it is. But damn it, dude, if I lose,
Knock on wood. Knock on wood, man.
dude,
Knock on wood, man.
if I
If anybody's listening, this man just shook his whole camera set off the rails.
dude, it's just like no, we are riding pause. Dear God, we are going to New York and it's gonna be a scene. We have boots on the ground though. We
Oh, boots
have
on the ground.
Jacob. Shout out to Jacob.
Oh,
He will
okay.
be at the game with his family. So if there is an
Okay.
injury, so you know who's gonna be running on the field. Shout out to shout out to Jacob, my boy. He's probably already in the plane. Send me a video of a lot of people in Texans jerseys at Hobby Airport.
Hey.
Yes, sir.
Alrighty.
Seems
Alrighty.
like seems like H Town till we drown. We'll be traveling to New
Traveling
York,
Texans,
man.
man. Shout out to Louis.
It's just like it's just, this season has been so perfect, so crazy. Like I mean, you're talking about things that you did not. I literally feel like I'm watching an anime, bro. I really do because I'm like, oh, I didn't expect that to happen. Oh, I didn't expect that to happen. Oh my god, my favorite character keeps on winning. He
Yes,
keeps on
thank God.
advancing. He keeps on doing it, no matter who the opponent is. And bro, I see the fire in this team. And we didn't even talk about him getting into the Denver Broncos face. I stand on business, like
Mm.
Drewski said. I mean, dude, that put a fire in me. That made me love CJ Stroud 1,000 times more. This is the guy, Harley. This is our quarterback.
Yeah, man. A-Sean don't back down, bro.
Mm,
I mean, that's just how we roll. And CJ Stroud said it. Hey, man, standing on business, just like Drewski said. Hey, I love it. Like, if anybody didn't was on the fence with CJ Stroud, if you were that 10%, 5% fans that were maybe out there, that's gone. It's like if anybody had made you a fan, even if you're not a Texans fan, like you just watching football and you seeing that game and CJ Stroud's there, because we had some extra eyeballs watching that game, because they changed the time up to 12. So if anybody's watching that game, I'm going, hey, man, look at this quarterback. Look at this rookie quarterback saying, I ain't going to back down. I ain't going to let that guy get in my head. Who is he? He's in my house.
mm,
And then what made it even better, the offensive lineman running out there. Shaq Mason, they had the whole back, George Fant and company. Oh yeah, it was fantastic to see my old line go out there and say, no, 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 get your ass out of there, get your
mm,
ass out of there,
mm,
get on back to the bench, boys.
mm.
That's right, man. That's the Texans, man. It's about damn time. What do? They swarm, and they swarm when they saw someone attacking their leader. And oh, captain, my captain, let's get it on. Ding, ding, ding.
Am I gonna have to catch a body for CJ shot? I just might have to. I
Oh
just might have to, man. And then here's the thing, bro. We've been chippy all year, like
yeah.
all year. That Tennessee game, there, I promise you, there's gonna be a
Mm.
fight or something. I promise you. I've been talking to my guy, Titan Rossi, a part of the Titan Upload, and he said that's their kind of Super Bowl, even though their season has already gone down the toilet. So excited for that. But going back to the New York Jets, I've seen the comments here. Who is going to be the starting running back on Sunday?
In terms of the New York Jets,
Houston Texans.
Devin Singletary
Mm,
has to be Devin Singletary. I cannot stress that enough. I'm done with Damian Pierce. I'm sorry, he's just not a scheme fit. It's not working. We saw what worked, and it was Devin Singletary. Does this game, a rainy weather game, does that maybe, I don't know, showcase Damian Pierce's power run a little bit better? Maybe, who knows? You know, I don't know, man. I saw Devin Singletary do electric things as the main running back for this team when Damian Pierce was out. So I got
Mm.
to give the ball to Devin Singletary. And, buddy, you're going to do your thing. You're going to run this scheme properly the way it's supposed to be ran. You're going to one cut. You're going to wait. You're going to wait for the blocks to open up. And you're going to see a hole and go through it and pause and cut right back to it. Devin Singletary has been absolutely fantastic when he was playing with the full amount of carries. So then Damian Pierce comes back and you take those carries away, and it just upsets me. It's like, what are we doing? I know we want to establish the run game. That's an old Kubiak saying. We got to establish the run game. I get that. But, like, if it's not working, and can we just change it up? Can we go back to Singletary? Can we just go to CJ Stroud? I'm not saying he's going to pass the ball 90% of the time, but damn it, sometimes you can pass to set up the run, whether it's a bubble screen, whether it's a wide receiver screen, screens in general, any sort of play action rollout. Here's a quick pass to the tight end that just came out. You know, like there's different things that you can do to set up a short passing game
Hmm.
that easily sets up to the run game. So many things to do there. It's got to be Devin Singletary to answer your question.
I I 100% agree. It's kind of hard to give up on Damian Pierce, still a young football player. We obviously lost some money on him, but the two successful games you had on the ground, I mean, back to back 110 plus yards performances, you cannot argue with that. This running game has been successful because of Devin Singletary, and it needs to be that way for the rest of the season. Like he needs to get majority of the carries. 100% agree with you. I think the running game is going to be key because if it is raining, don't see a lot of passing yards through the air. Hopefully, we get some screens involved. I think Kenyon Green is affecting the running game. To be honest, he was as in pass game, but he was our best run blocker. Shout out to Kenyon Green, man. We haven't really talked about him all year. Hopefully, he is getting 100% healthy. And hey, I have some faith, man. I see Derek Stingley balling out. Coming back from injury. Does Kenyon Green have the same effect? When you look at the coaching battle between Robert Saleh, head
Mm.
coach D'Amico Ryans.
Mm.
I think this is going to be the game that breaks the camel's back. The straw that breaks the camel's back. I think once if the Houston Texans are victorious after this game, I think we start seeing some fires. Now, Robert Saleh has been getting so much criticism over the past really year and a half for how he's handled the Zach Wilson situation, right? It just for all the good things he's done on the defensive side of the ball, the rest of the team, it's just not good. Obviously, it's Aaron Rodgers, and for your, I guess, protege, D'Amico Ryans to play against you is already having more success. And did you see the comment that Robert Saleh had about D'Amico and our scheme? He
No, I
says it's
didn't.
basically gonna be like the Spider-Mans looking at each other, right?
No,
That the
I
hand
did see that
signals will
actually.
be the
Yeah.
same. And I took that as kind of an offense, man. I think D'Amico Ryans is gonna have a game plan for Robert Saleh, and you always want to beat the guy that got a job ahead of you. You always want to beat the guy that was in your place before you got there. And maybe he's not going to say it right. He's obviously going to show some respect to, Robert Saleh, but I think D'Amico Ryan is going to bring something creative because this defense, man, has turned it up a notch. And I think this is going to be the start of us seeing an elite Houston Texans defense.
I mean, I don't know about the start. We just saw it last week.
Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah. I
mean,
mean, shut them down.
absolutely. Old JJ Watt commercial. Shut you down.
Mm,
Like, I mean, yeah, I would say the start of it really was just last week. You really were fully healthy for the first time in your secondary, held the Broncos to 16 points, you know, 8 touchdowns, 0 interceptions entering the game for Russell Wilson behind a 5 game winning streak, 3 interceptions to end that game. All right. The
mm.
game winner by Jimmy Ward. So, yeah, I can agree that the defense will continue from last week's performance. I think Derek Stingley and Will Anderson are hot right now. I
Mm.
really do. And 4 interceptions in his last 3 games for Derek Stingley. Will Anderson's going up against who knows who at right tackle because their rookie right tackle just got an injury. He was supposed to be filling in and he got hurt. So we don't know who's going to be playing right tackle for the New York Jets. And it just so happens that's where Will Anderson lines up. And
Mm.
it just so happens Will Anderson had 2 sacks last week. He
Mm.
had himself a game last week, an absolute game wrecking machine last week. All right. He was fantastic. So, Zach Wilson, people can tell me all they want. Oh, I have a feeling he's going to have a good game against us. I
I don't.
don't. I don't. I don't care. I do not care. Like, give me Carolina Panthers 2.0.
Mm.
I will stand on it. 10 toes
Mm.
down. Hey, get our ass whooped. We get our ass whooped. What can I do? I'm gonna sit
Yeah.
here and still record and be here every single day and do my videos and have people talk trash to me. There is no way the Houston Texans can lose to the New York Jets.
Mm.
There is no way.
Mm.
There's nothing wrong with being confident.
Talk your
Like,
shit.
nothing wrong with it.
Hype us up.
CJ Stroud and the Houston Texans are going to go on there and they're going to
Mm.
decimate them. I
What?
mean, that's just how it's going to be. It's going
What?
to be ugly, sure,
What?
but that's because of the rain and everything. I don't expect a 30 bomb,
Mm.
but I expect complete, utter domination.
Mm.
This defense should absolutely destroy Zach Wilson.
What?
Garrett Wilson will be wide open every once in a while. He won't
What?
get the ball because Zach Wilson can't throw the ball. And
What?
the Houston Texans got themselves a strong right side with Will Anderson, strong
What?
left side with Jonathan Grenard. All
What?
right. We got our linebackers with Blake Cashman,
What?
Christian Harris. We
What?
got secondary,
What?
healthy, Derek
What?
Stingley, Jimmy
What?
Ward, 4
What?
interceptions, 3
What?
interceptions, 2
What?
interceptions,
What?
touchdowns, running
What?
back,
What?
Singletary, Pierce.
What?
Hit us with the Pat McAfee there, everybody.
Shout out, man. When Stone Cold used to do that, I mean, it was just electrifying. I remember being just 7 years old. What? What? Even used to try to do that with the teachers, so they got mad at us, dude. But
Oh man, I used to do DX in elementary
bro,
school.
dude, DX used to just get us in trouble, in freaking trouble.
I mean, the Pat McAfee show with their Pat will start going wild, and then it's like they're just chanting what in the background, and he just starts going off. And Pat McAfee is fantastic. I mean, he's must watch. But I'm sorry, it is what it is. Like, I'm sorry, this Houston Texans team, they can't lose to the Jets. They won't lose to the Jets because this is a must-win game. We all
Yes.
know it's a must-win game, okay? You don't lose to a team like this. You can't lose to a team like this. It is going to be absolutely pitiful if you lost to the Jets. I am going to be extremely upset. Extremely upset. Do it like The Rock. Oh, we could get in there when I'm talking to the millions.
And I was about to do it, fucking Harley. Let's fucking go.
It's ridiculous. Like, I can't see the Texans lose. I can't. There's no world in me where I've seen Zach Wilson play this whole year, and he's played like absolute garbage. Been replaced from like Tim Boyle of all people. Tim Boyle gets cut. Brett Ripien comes in. Zach Wilson doesn't know if he wants to play or not. He's up and down. Brett Ripien, practice squad, LA Rams. He looked like crap with them. And he comes in here. He thinks maybe he could get the job. Nope, we're going back to Zach Wilson. What can they do wrong? Everything. It's their fault. They didn't have a backup quarterback for Aaron Rodgers. They should have had Aaron Rodgers is 37 years old or whatnot. The guy could be injury prone probably. Older people get hurt. That is a fact. The Jets should have been more prepared.
I'm dude, I 100% agree. And I get, it pisses me off when I see hope in other teams, right? Cuz I used to be the same guy. Oh, this is the game we get it going. This is the one game of this shitty season that you play like an actual football team and everyone's expecting it to be the New York Jets. I saw them say this is the game Zach Wilson throws for 2 touchdowns, 300 yards, and has one on the ground. I said, what planet are we freaking living in where
Yeah,
Zach Wilson does that?
he hasn't done it in his whole career.
Dude doesn't even want to play a football game. You don't want to suit up. You're reluctant to play. And that's why Tim Boyle was released, Harley, because he
Yeah,
told
apparently
that
so.
to the media and they got upset. Why are you snitching on our boy? Get the hell out of here. How do you have confidence in Zach? Like really, really. And if the Houston Texans lose this game, I'm not right. I'm gonna knock on wood. I'm gonna knock on freaking wood. Like it will be such a deflator, just a horrible moment if you lose this game. But the Houston Texans have showed all year that they could rise to the occasion. They've done it definitely after the bye week, just beating good teams, grinding out wins. And I think this might be not a grind out win because I predict 21-9,
Mhm.
but I think it's not just going to be a game where we were. I don't know. I'm iffy, man. I'm iffy because of the rain in the stadium. That's really it. Like I'm not like I have not once been worried about the Jets, like the team. I'm worried about the weather. I'm worried about the stadium. I want to exit the game as healthy as I can be.
Yeah, I agree with you. Again, the 12th man is what I'm most worried about. The guy that doesn't exist is what I'm most worried about. It is the stadium, and then I'm worried about the weather. And then after those two things, then it's like I worry about my own team playing down to competition, and that's not what you want. You gotta prove to the fans because that's still in the back of everyone's mind.
Mm,
That's why everyone is like, oh, you can't predict them to just win this game 100%, because in the back of their mind, they saw the Panthers game, they saw the Falcons game, games that we should have won, and we lost. And
mm-hmm,
it's a little bit of that same old Houston Texans
mm-hmm,
stigma, and it's still there in the back of the mind for some of these guys. So some of these fans, excuse me. And I understand it. I get it. It's frustrating us. Exactly. The Panthers game scarred a lot of Texans fans. Believe me, it had me going, man, let me be precautious for a little bit. Hell
we
no,
still
not,
are, bro.
not anymore.
Mm.
Rip that goddamn band-aid off.
Nah.
Texans are whooping the Jets' ass. Like it's gonna be 24 to like 6 or 12. They're not scoring a touchdown. The
Mm-mm.
Texans are gonna dominate defensively because the game is gonna be ugly for the Jets. I mean, their offense was horrible in perfect weather. Now just imagine in rainy, ugly weather.
Mm.
It's going to be absolutely you. They're going to be the dichotomy of that 6-0 Chargers Patriots game. That's going to be
Mm.
the New York Jets offense this Sunday. I can't see them scoring anything this Sunday. Can't see it.
What is going on, our boy D Love? Before we end it, we are gonna do. We are both gonna give you a quick 10 to 15-second hype about this game on Sunday. Harley, I'll let you go first, and I want you to also end with your score prediction.
Well, I mean, we've already gotten hyped throughout this video already with the Stone Cold chants and the little rock one-liners. But it's absolutely a fantastic day to go out there and just beat on someone that's already been beaten down.
Mm,
You go in there, it's easy to go in there and just continue just shitting on New York. How many times has the city of Houston taken a big old crap on New York? How many times has the city of Houston just taken out New York? New York don't like it. They don't want to admit it. They all know the Houston Astros been owning them since 2015. Cheating or not, it don't even matter. All right, we all know the Houston Rockets absolutely destroyed the New York Knicks with Akeem the Dream, Elijah Wan, and Clyde Drexler against Patrick Ewing and company. We all know that they absolutely destroyed them. All right, and we can go even further. The Houston Texans are going to absolutely continue tradition. It's tradition at this point, ladies and gentlemen. It is tradition that the city of Houston continues to lay a big pile of crap on the city of New York. It just blends into the rest of their city. How about that, huh? The Houston, city of Houston, and the Houston Texans will absolutely slaughter the Jets. And I do not have no faith whatsoever in that team to score a touchdown because the Houston Texans defense is back up, ladies and gentlemen. It is back up. It is back to a point to where we are starting to get the 2012 vibe. We are starting to get that 2011 vibe. It might not be there just quite yet. Might not be there. Not all the way full send, but damn it, the ghosts are coming back because we saw what I thought was J.J. Watt and J. Joe for a second, and we got Waj tipping the pass, Derek Stingley getting the interception, everyone swarming to the ball. D'Amico Ryans is excited, just like he was when he was wearing 59 on that field. The Houston Texans will absolutely kick ass on Sunday against the New York Jets.
Mm, Harley, that was beautiful. Ladies and gentlemen, I said it last week, and I was talking to the Houston Texans players. I say, look at the number on your back and look up the history for the Houston Texans. What you will find is that there's nothing there. You need to start writing your own. And we saw players do that last week. We saw Will Anderson Jr. have a franchise game. We saw Derek Stingley have a franchise game. We saw head coach D'Amico Ryans have a franchise game himself, beating a Super Bowl winning head coach and a Super Bowl winning quarterback. Hardly the Texans are going to go into New York in front of the millions, and they are going to not allow a single touchdown. I'm going 21-9. I think Derek Stingley has another INT. I think he shuts down Garrett Wilson. I think Nico Collins makes Sauce Gardner his little bitch. And I think the Houston Texans get it going. They shut down the New York Jets. The game's over by the third quarter. Everyone, get on your feet, drop the swarms in the chat. And thank you for being a part of today's episode that was brought to you by Bet Online. I am Ruben Calvillo. That is the handsome man Harley Dugan. Puro pinches Texans all day
Vamos.
till I die. Guys, y'all already know what I'm going to say. You have a real blessed rest of your Friday night. Be safe if you're going out.